Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, very, very good question.
Yeah, this is a very good question.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question.
Oh, that's a great question.
Ooh, that's a great question.
Yeah, that's a great question, Zanger.
It's a great question.
It's a great question.
Yeah, it's a great question. Really good question.
Gosh, this question to me, I hate this question.
That's a loaded question. But okay.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for your support of Indie Agency News. And let's meet an indie agency. Well, we're heading, I guess, quasi sort of to Munich, because that's where the mothership is with Serviceplan Group. But we've got Jasmine and Tam from Mediaplus North America, one of the group, joining us today. So thank you so much for joining us, and really looking forward to chatting about the agency and some of the work. And we do have a couple of things to peek at, which always fun, always encouraged. Fun fact, Tam and I both played, well, you probably played soccer. I sat bench soccer at the University of Denver. So we found this common thing. And then we found something out about Jasmine that I'm not going to say anything about, but when you hear it, you will hear it at some point. I'm not going to, I will let Tam, I defer to Tam on if she wants to divulge, but those are always some fun things to learn about, some of the background and the backstories of our members. So first of all, thank you both for joining us. Give us a little background on the agency. Give us a little background on Mediaplus.
Yeah, so as you probably are aware, Serviceplan Group is significant in size. We're founded in Munich, about 6,000 employees globally. And Mediaplus is the media entity within the group. There's three pillars: Serviceplan, Mediaplus, and Planet. And we are, God, Jasmine, what are we? I think we're in 20 countries now with 35 offices, and we have about 3,500 employees. I think what's most special about it is the people. Like we're the ones that are overseas, but the collaboration we have with our European counterparts is amazing. But really, I think we take a differentiated approach as an indie, which I think we're going to talk a little bit about.
Right.
That, like we love what we do, and we hope that our clients just love working with us.
Yeah, no, I completely get that. And Jasmine, what's interesting is it's very clear what the agency does in its name. There's a little bit of what's on the tin, which is always a good thing. But what would you say the agency is best known for? And then taking it one step further, and I know this is different for a media-centric agency. So what the agency is best known for, and what you would say the top three core strengths are.
All right. Well, I actually think our strengths and what we're best known for actually align. The things that we're best known for is, first and foremost, our creativity. We were really proud to be the only indie agency on the top 10 list from Cannes in terms of media agency creativity. And we've won a ton of awards, like Cannes, Titanium for Network of the Year, lots of Clios, lots of, pencils, lots of One Awards, et cetera. And a lot of it is not for traditional media plans. So I think that creativity aspect and being born out of Serviceplan Group has this, idea of the house of communication, and that it's about uber creativity, bringing people from different disciplines together. So it's exciting that even within Mediaplus, we apply that same type of thinking and bring that creativity.
Yeah, and service.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, and Serviceplan obviously has done extraordinarily well on the creative side of it, and also in the effectiveness side of it as well. Whose dog? I want to see the dog. I heard a dog. Where is the dog? Whose dog is that?
I have 3 dogs, but I had you on mute, so you.
No. I heard one. We're gonna see the dog at some point. We're gonna see the dogs plural at some point.
Happy to share.
But that really is an important thing, and I think what's very heartening is there is this notion that media and creativity come together, or are coming together more than ever. But what I will say is that it's not easy. I think there is this perception of this cavalier attitude of, wow, media and creative coming together. But how does media help feed the creative side? And conversely, how does creative feed the media side? Understanding that it's not simply about traditional media plans. It goes well beyond that.
Yeah. And it's collaboration, right? It's people who all have the same goal, which is driving growth for a client's business. And the partnership and the relationship you build with the clients, the advertiser, and with the other agencies that allows you to make magic, where everyone is just so invested in the client's growth that we don't have kind of ego about where ideas came from. I think that really is the key to creativity, the curiosity to think about how something can be done differently, and the kind of lack of ego and commitment to growth for your partner, first and foremost.
Tam, from your side, where do you see the media and creative, that back and forth being a huge multiplier for clients?
Yeah, for us, it's not a lift. I mean, the agency itself has actually invested, in a creative role. We have an amazing partner named Max that lives in Munich, and we actually have a group called the BAM Collective that is across all of our 20 offices. And that group gets together to bring different aspects and jobs to help really ideate and come up with a different, I think, language of creativity that we bring to life through the amazing media that we strategize for our partners. And I think it works because, to Jasmine's point, there's just no ego. It's not that, oh, your job's creative and our job's media. It's our job. Jazz, like, you always talk about, like, we're the pipes that, bring like the water to the people. Or I might have just chopped that up. She could.
No, you got it right. We to try to help clients understand sometimes the difference between creative and media, and like the ad, and like the ad inventory versus the ad itself as a piece of communications. Yeah.
But if you think through that lens, it really, like, it breaks down barriers, and our partners understand that, because we, even if we're working with an outside creative partner, which we often do for half of our brands, there's no ego. It's really about bringing the best business to life so that we can deliver on that partner's goals, which in the marketplace since COVID has delivered so many different, like uniqueness, I guess, in the market that has changed since COVID, and especially with a heightened digital landscape, with retail media flying through the roof in terms of 20% of investment at this point. And so you have to be able to collaborate in a different way. And because we're an independent, we really don't have barriers to that.
Right. Well, hold that thought, because I want to let's watch this first, and then we'll get to independence. Hold on one sec. Let's take a look at this.
The opioid crisis isn't even close to coming to an end.
Every 6 minutes, someone dies from an overdose.
People have simply been prescribed something that kills them.
Addiction is just too strong.
I try to quit so many times, but then you have a pill in your hand, and it's just...
855 How to Quit is a helpline that turns the object of addiction into a way out by using the mandatory imprint codes on opioid pills as phone extensions to connect those who struggle with those who manage to quit that very same pill.
Hi, my name is Brian, and I quit using Oxycontin.
Connected through the pills.
I know what you're going through.
The callers heard stories from real survivors.
I had a steady job, a husband, and a doctor.
3601.
How they got addicted.
Couldn't escape this, really. Everyone I knew had opioids in them. Yeah, OP. They welcomed me.
And how they quit.
12-step program saved my life. I want to let you...
Followed by live advice from experts.
Treatment options near you are either the clinic...
The helpline was promoted through a nationwide integrated media campaign, with out-of-home and print ads placed in relevant environments, next to pharmacies and hotspots, and based on regional prescription data of pills. A film brought it to TV. A website contained all stories, more information and ways to participate, like sharing your own story. On social media, prominent ex-addicts promoted and even joined the helpline.
Look, there I am.
The campaign reached millions, helping thousands to take the first step to quit.
A pill code can now literally save lives. People out there need to call. It can save thousands of lives.
If I didn't have somebody helping me, I wouldn't be sitting here today. It's that simple.
855 How to Quit, helping America quit opioids, pill by pill.
So, clearly very, very powerful. It would be pithy to even ask a question. Just walk us through that and the impact that it's had.
Yeah, we get paid to do work, and then we get the opportunity to do good. And this was an opportunity to do good. It's a holistic Serviceplan Group collaboration. So we worked with Serviceplan, we worked with Mediaplus, both in Munich, and then we leaned in here in North America, and we actually leaned into a handful of partners. You saw a lot of the amazing out-of-home work that we were able to secure as added value with our partners at Talon. And, as you're probably aware, like opioid abuse is out of
staggering.
control.
Yeah, still staggering.
North America. And so the fact that we could all lean in and all we had to do was give our time to help people like truly understand how they can get help, because what's scary about opioids is it's not just reaching people that are in a demographic because they don't have an income or they're out of job. It really touches everybody. And so the whole, mandate of bringing that to life was to just help the world and particularly North Americans with this problem that we have here.
Yeah. And I think that this goes into why being independent matters, because you do have an opportunity to do things like this. Jazz, talk about why being independent is important.
Yeah. So for us, it really comes down to feeling unbound and free to do what's right for our clients. So that's a combination of being able to develop, we're all running businesses, right? Commercials that don't incentivize us to spend more money than we need to on their behalf on media, right? That really have us approach the seat at the table with them as a growth partner who's invested in their growth as opposed to growing their media budget. Right. So there's that on the one hand. And then on the other hand, there is the fact that we're able to be much more nimble, creative, test, experiment. And the exciting thing is doing those things can rapidly change the agency itself as well, because we're not trying to turn the Titanic here. So that's that's the things that I find most exciting about what we're able to do in our own work for our colleagues as well as for our client partners because of our independence.
Tam, anything to add to that? I'm sure you have an opinion or two on this one.
Yeah, I think that at Mediaplus, especially in Germany and in Europe, we're huge. But outside of Munich, we're all really working as the best of a boutique with the power of the scale that we have. And that allows us to spend time focusing on what's important for us and our partners to deliver on their growth and having the flexibility to do that. And I think it really, I talk a lot about that we love what we do, that we're passionate, that we are, bringing a whole different excitement to a business that has the permission to be exciting because it is creative. And so, we're not just a media agency, we're a growth accelerator. And alone, I think that is something that's really powerful. And as somebody who has worked at many of the holdcos, Jazz too, I think that's something that is really a differentiator when you're an indie.
I did not dig that deeply into your background. So yes, the holdco thing. So there you go. What's the main reason a brand should work with the agency?
Yeah, I we're a partner. We're not just an agency. And our current partners, like our brand partners, they never speak about us as their agency. We actually just threw an innovation day 2 weeks ago, and it was amazing to see our brand partners, our publishing partners, our agency partners. We actually brought other agencies into the innovation day as well, just really come together and collaborate to help everybody feel smarter, help them feel more empowered, help them understand how to navigate the difficult topics that are out there in the marketplace today. And if I was at a holdco still, like, you don't have permission to do that because you are focused specifically on that group. And so I think that, we have something that is very differentiated and very special. And I know that our partners feel that, because I think, Jazz, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we just got a 92% on our client.
Yeah, it was 93.
Thank you. Our recent client satisfaction score, which, that's pretty amazing. And it's because our partners really do feel that we are like one team, one dream. We're at the table. Right. We're understanding their business, and we're delivering, great results for them.
Yeah, and we don't approach it as like investment bankers who are going to be like the most brilliant commodity traders in media for them. Instead, we come as detectives and brand strategists, helping first and foremost, like, what is the problem we're trying to solve? Okay, is media the right thing to solve it? If so, what media? And I think that dedication to being marketing strategists over media buyers is something that really resonates with our clients, especially clients who have that need because they have a lean marketing team. They don't have, $1 billion in media to just throw at, being on every TV network.
I get that. I totally get that. I got to do this first though. Hold on. All right. So there we go. So we're going to the University of Denver all-time roster. And there's Tam. You actually had a goal.
I did. But yeah. I spent a year playing goalie because I didn't say anything when you mentioned you got switched because our goalie got hurt. And so I actually went back into the net for a little bit. But
okay. All right. And then proof that I was there. So here we go. Men's soccer. And we go down. And there I am. Right.
Nice.
There you go. Thankfully, no stats. If there were bench stats, I would have been All-American.
I wasn't a striker. I played midi for when I was, and I was great at corner kicks. I could play with my.
Oh, okay. Specialist. That's fantastic. Fantastic. All right, back to the interview. Oh, so here's a hint for Jazz. My family's favorite song, the Italian side, is Ave Maria.
Mm-hmm.
I'm presuming you could sing that pretty well.
I have sung it.
All right. I'm just leaving it at that. Yes. I'm leaving it. Oh, God. All right. Oh, karaoke's going to be so good when we go to Munich. All right. Let's go back to this. Let's talk about talent and why talent should be putting the agency on their list of consideration. Because, and as someone who does teach, you hear a lot from students of saying, I want to go to a big creative agency. I want to go to Wyden. I want to go to Mother. And of course you want that ambition. Yeah. But I think what's interesting is you can have equally, if not more fulfilling opportunities in places that you might not necessarily know about or expect. And so that's really how I like to frame it, because a great student or talent that's maybe a couple of years into their career might not necessarily know that this is a great option for them. So why should talent be putting the agency on their list?
Yeah, I think if you want to be a little fish in a big pond, we're not the place for you.
Right.
The best part about working at Mediaplus is the opportunities that we provide our talent. And so to Jazz's point earlier, great ideas come from everywhere. Whether this is your first job and you're right out of college, whether you've been in the business for 8 to 10 years, it doesn't matter. We really work as a collaborative unit, as a football team, so to speak, because without all of us on the pitch, we can't score the goals. And I'm just going to lean into our soccer analogies.
Yeah.
But I think why talent comes to work at Mediaplus and why we should be on the radar is that we give our talent the opportunity to step above their skill set. We're always pushing them to do more. We're offering, who wants to lean in and write a blog and do this? Who wants to sit, bench on this pitch so you can see how we do it and how you can potentially do it moving forward. So we really give a lot of opportunity. But, one thing before I hand it back, because I'm sure Jasmine has a perspective on this too, is Jazz always talks about the fact that I'm a romantic, and it's true. I want to be the agency partner that everybody loves to work with. And that's first and foremost our talent, and then our brand partners and our publishing community, like all of them. And I really think we try to create something that's unique and differentiated, that allows our people to really love what they do.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. What I would add on is the kind of the entrepreneurial spirit of working at a smaller independent agency and the proximity to leadership that our colleagues get. I feel like they're able to learn more faster. And it's a lot easier for us as leaders to continually feed their curiosity and teach them. Think about I don't know, maybe it's the self-selecting pool of Australians that decide to come all the way over to the US. But I feel like the ones that land here in Adland are always a little bit ahead of their American peers. And I think part of that is how when you're in a smaller market or at a smaller agency, you just have more opportunity to tackle a challenge that's right above your title instead of being, playing your role in the assembly line. So I'd add that as well.
I love it. I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to ask my magic question at the end. Hold one sec. We're going to watch another great case study.
DeLonghi has one ambitious mission: to democratize coffee that's not only good, but
perfetto.
Americans love coffee, and espresso drinks like lattes and macchiatos have moved from niche to mainstream. But espresso remains something Americans drink on the go. Only 7% own an espresso machine at home. How could we develop the perfect strategy, the perfect balance, the perfect brand campaign architecture to democratize espresso at home? By listening, analyzing, and adapting our campaign in almost real time. With a data-led approach, we concentrated our investment on building relevance and not just reach, while continuously learning and adapting our campaign. Reaching coffee drinkers across the US to inspire an elevated at-home coffee experience. From New York City to Boston to Montreal, Toronto to downtown LA. With a pretty perfect result. From September to December, sales grew double digits year over year, delivering DeLonghi's strongest holiday season ever in the US. Perfect?
Perfetto.
Now, first off, wildly competitive category. We're an espresso family. So, I don't even remember what I bought it so long ago. But that's a wildly competitive category, especially that time of year. So I'm really talk a little bit about that, because breaking through, DeLonghi is in a lot of ways an incumbent. And then you have all of these challengers that are nipping at their heels. So I'm curious about just walk me through that, because there's a million things I could ask on that. We should probably do an indie work. We should do an indie work on DeLonghi in the future. But give us a little snippet of that.
Yeah, I would say first and foremost that espresso at home, like over the last 20, 30 years with Starbucks and this and that, drinking espresso-based beverages is now a mainstream activity, but owning an espresso machine at home is still an emerging category.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's still less than 10% of American households own an espresso machine.
So my presumption would be the inverse would be true in Europe.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's the opposite in Europe. Europe drinks, short, strong coffees, and we drink tall, mild coffees in North America. So even a brand like DeLonghi that would be a so-called incumbent, like really still is a challenger brand in a category that's in its infancy. And so like all of the challenger brand playbook stuff was a part of our media plan, making sure that we were really, really focused, watching I'm really proud watching the case study again, but also we were able to make the investment feel so much bigger than it was by being really choiceful about how we approached everything, to be very data driven, very targeted, make sure we were building kind of echoes into everything. Even our out of home placements, we had digital programmatic that was literally retargeting off of mobile devices that had been in proximity of the out of home units. So we could build the frequency and give that out of home even more oomph. So I think it is that, like, being very choiceful and thinking of all of it as a connected system, as opposed to like pieces of a puzzle that aren't like fluid and working together. Anything you'd add, Tam?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of the work that we've been doing with DeLonghi. They're an amazing partner, and we genuinely love their machines. I have the Aletta in my house. We have the Aletta in the True Brew in the city. Also have the Mag-Evo in the city. Like, they're like, we love their product, and I think that comes through in the collective work we do with them. And to Jazz's point, helping a brand with not a small investment, but not a large investment, really break through it and differentiate. And by the way, there's a chance your Nespresso machine has DeLonghi parts in it. Just an FYI.
I'm sure it does. I got it so long ago. This is a little bit of a thought exercise, and I have a little treat for both. Well, probably more for Tam. But like, it could be both of you. Whether they are an existing client or a client that you'd love to have join the family, who's a CMO or marketer you want to say hi to?
Yeah, I mean, I love all of our partners. DeLonghi, Mozilla, Minnetonka. We work with Pantalones if you're a tequila drinker, and they're owned by Matthew McConaughey, and they're fantastic. We work with Siemens. Like, I love all of our partners. Gigi Bailey. I could go on. I think of partners we're interested in working with. So we have a no asshole rule at our agency.
That's wise.
And that goes for our partners as well. In our history, we had partners that for some reason didn't treat the agency as they should. And Jasmine and I have been very fixed on the fact that as partners and building Mediaplus here in North America, we want to work with people who, are genuinely good people. Yeah. They're human, they're curious, they're connected, and they lean into like what Jazz talked about in terms of being unbound. So when we're looking for our ideal partners, we want to work with people that like want to work with us and want to do great work and grow their business, because that's what we're focused on.
That's kind of the deal. Jazz?
Mm-hmm. I mean, in addition to our current clients, there's obviously like some brands that personally I really love, like Rothy's.
All right, come on, hit me. Do it.
No, Rothy's, Blue Land. Like, I think there are a lot of these like D2C brands, even Away, right? Like D2C brands that have grown to a certain size that like it would be such a meaty, rewarding challenge to work with them as they branch out into distribution beyond their own.
Right.
And really crack how to drive growth incrementally everywhere.
Right.
So that it's not just shifting around sales. But yeah, That I think would be a really fun challenge to take on with some of those D2C brands that are kind of hitting maturity in the D2C space and need to expand into other distribution.
Gotta go, gotta move. All right, here's the treat. I was looking for something, and I found it. About 9 years ago, I still play old man soccer, and I wasn't playing goalie at the time. I was playing up front like I customarily did over years. So it was the 2015 men's over 40 at the time. I'm now 55. Men's championship, Division II. Let's not get too excited. But we were down 2-0, and then we managed to scrape a goal back. And then the game was almost done. As in, the final whistle was about to be blown. And this happened. Where is it? There it is.
Yeah! Let's go! Yeah, RCR!
Woo! There you go.
Love the passion. I love that you're still on the pitch. I mean,
yeah. Well, to be honest, I was just trying to get it far post. I was hoping somebody was going to be running far post, and then I looked up and I saw that the keeper was out and that I had chipped him and I had chipped it into the goal. So we went right to penalties and we ended up winning the championship.
Now, Doug, I'll ask you: are you going to be at Cannes?
I will. Yeah.
Okay, so I will too. I'm actually speaking. I'm running a panel with the CMO of the Kansas City Chiefs, the CMO of the MLS, and then the CMO of the Chelsea Women's Football Club. These amazing women to kind of talk about their story and how they've gotten to where they are, their different approach. So please, let's connect, because I'd love to have you.
Okay.
But we should.
Philadelphia Eagles fan. I'll just get this out of the way. Philadelphia Eagles fan, lifelong Arsenal supporter, but I'm a Chelsea women. I mad respect for.
And they just won Football League.
I know. I am aware. Well, hold on.
Oh.
So, I mean, listen, it's like lifelong Arsenal guy. So, I mean, I don't know if you did an exchange at DU, but I went to London in 1990, and that's when I fell in love with Arsenal.
So I show off my brands too. So I'll give our partners at Pantalones a shot.
Yep. All right. Yes.
I can't do it, but wow, Matthew can, and he still rolls it out. It's fantastic.
So, fun fact: a friend of mine used to. I don't know if she taught him at UT, but she knew him in the program. So she was in the advertising program. She knew him when he was young Matthew McConaughey. And there are stories.
Yeah, him and Camilla are genuinely both really amazing.
It's awesome.
Great parents.
Yep. No, it's amazing stuff. We could do this all day, but we probably shouldn't. So let's wrap this up. First of all, thank you so much to Serviceplan for supporting Indie Agency News. This mission matters so much to me, and we're thrilled to have all of you here as part of the family as well. And thank you so much for all of this, and we look forward to seeing even more success from all of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.